Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. Just make sure I'm live. What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So, I've been giving away a lot of free picks, and they've been hitting very recently. A lot of the free picks are winning. The issue is that I give away a lot of the free picks, and sometimes it doesn't work in the favor, meaning that I'll have some VIP picks and then I'll have some free picks, and it's vice versa. Sometimes the VIP picks will be very good, and then the free picks are not good. Well, recently it's been reversed. All the free picks that I've been giving out have been winning, and the VIP picks not so much. So I wanted to come on here and kind of go through the process and explain the situation that I've been in so that you can see all the work that's been going into this. So today I'm super focused. I'm gonna come into this and show you exactly what I've been working on and why this should improve the game. And on top of that, the props have just been trash. I'm gonna give you an example. In the no run first innings, we're going with the top pitchers, and they've been getting rocked. Sometimes they'll score like 5 runs in the first inning, and it's been happening for about 5 days. So that's one of the big ones that has been really crushing us is the no run first innings. So just be careful with that. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff. So if you want to stay tuned, I'm actually going to go through 4 different games in baseball, and I'm also going to go through some batter props. If you can hear me and see me, please comment. Let me know what you see, just so that I can know that I'm live. Anybody here? Let me just make sure I'm recording, guys. Give me a second. If anybody can hear me, let me know. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right. So here we go, guys. Sorry about that. Let me mute this and then we're good. All right. Thank you, guys. So here we go. So basically, this is going to be the biggest pitching mismatches. This is very important to know. And like I said, recently the starting pitchers have been getting rocked. Sometimes they'll be very excellent teams, and then the other team just beats the shit out of the starter. And then it's very hard for the teams to come back from that. So the Cleveland Guardians 2 days ago and 3 days ago, they came back and they won the game, even though they were down like 6-0. So again, they've been getting rocked as far as the very good starting pitchers. So just be careful with that. Here's Henderson from the Brewers. That's a mismatch. He's going against Bradford. Then you got Schlittler over here going against Sandoval. So for Yankees, Brewers, and then over here is Washington. I'm sorry, Miami, which is Perez versus Kent. So the 3 teams that have a pitching advantage as far as the starter goes is Henderson, Schlittler, and Perez. All right. So once we have all that, we go into this thing called the sharp line monitor. And from here, I actually look at this from the night before. So I'm constantly paying attention to what's happening with the line movement and where the consensus is. Okay. So for example, the Reds have been moving right here, 169 to 166. And you can see it kind of went down and now it's coming back up. So that is not a good sign. Even though they were going down, now they're coming back up. So again, that's not a good sign. The Tigers is probably one of the biggest line moves. It's going, even though they're underdogs, they're going from a plus 188 to a plus 164. So if you wanted to look at this game, you would be looking at the Tigers at a plus 1.5. And you can see this is basically just going down in their favor. However, the Dodgers are super heavily favored, and you can see the line is shifting away from them. So that is not a good thing. I'm not going to go too much more into these details, but basically the other ones that are very slightly moving is the Royals. So the Royals have been crushing it. They've actually been the number one team so far in the last 14 days. They won yesterday, I think 13-2 or 13-1 or something crazy. And I did not take them, but I did see them come up, and I was very sick, so I didn't end up like paying too much attention to every single thing that was going on. But I did see the score, and they were winning by a lot. So today they're back on the board at a plus 1.5. Whenever you see this little plus number, that means you should be looking at the underdog. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but basically, we have a snapshot out of everything I just showed you, all the line movements. At the bottom of this page, By the way, if you don't have this page, it's called the Sharp Edge. Go to the link in the description. You get it for 7 days for free. I'm going to show you what I've been working on and why this is so powerful. And this is actually something that I was doing by hand, manually, every single day, and how I was winning so much. If you go back on my channel, look at all the wins that I've had for the last couple of months in baseball has been because of this system that I was doing. And now it's literally on one page. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Anyways, this is the line movement for today. It looks like the Tigers at a +1.5, the Red Sox at a +1.5, the Royals, the Reds, and the Twins on the money line. It's telling you how much this is moving by. I already showed you the Tigers is the one that's moving the most at 32 cents. This one's 15 cents. This one's 13 cents. Royals is 11 cents, and Reds is 8 cents. Once we have all the line movement, this is what I was talking about here. This is the Sharp Edge VIP. Once you're inside the Sharp Edge, this one is paid. It's not the 7 days for free, but this is very, very powerful because it combines all the information from every single thing that I look at. And this is, like I said, I was doing this by hand. So I would go in here literally and look at, okay, where's all my line movement? What I just showed you. Then I would write that down. Okay, the Twins, the Tigers, the Red Sox, the Royals, the Reds. Then I'll say, okay, what are the experts saying? And it's like, okay, the Padres, the Brewers, and the Royals. All right, and then I would write that down. Okay? And then, okay, then I would run my own little system behind the scenes and say, I have all this information. What is my Sharp Edge tool telling me? What is the run differential model telling me? What is the spreads telling me? What is the pitcher mismatches? I've already shown you this. I can't, for some reason, I can't click off of this, but it's this right here. So what is the pitching mismatches? What is the signal splits? What is the multiple signs aligned? So all this information, again, is very, very important. And this is the reason I've been winning is I'll take like 8 different things, as you can see right here, the signal splits, the line movement, the expert plays, the Sharp Edge, the run differential model, the spreads, the MLB analysis, the edge check, the pitcher mismatches, the NRFIs, all that stuff. And then it starts it starts pointing me in one certain direction. Once I'm pointed in a certain direction, I can tell you right here today, these are the 3 strongest ones that are aligned. So it's saying the Brewers are aligned, the Royals is aligned, and the Red Sox is aligned. Now I'm not telling you to take these. This is just where all the information is pointing towards. What's up, Scott? Thank you for being here, man. All right. Now the other thing too is that we get the signal splits, which I can't show you this right now, but it's basically, well, actually I can. So we go signal splits. It's saying what this means is that there's a lot of stuff happening for the White Sox, but then there's stuff going against them. So the White Sox are playing the Twins, and the Twins, you can see the line movement and all this stuff. I'm not going to try to explain this board, but basically it's giving you that there's contradictions. So White Sox is saying 2, and the Twins is saying 2. So 2 and 2 splits. That's why it's contradicting. Same thing with the Reds and the Cubs. So that's the reason you see the signal splits. Now, like I mentioned, out of all this stuff, the 3 that are aligned the most is the Brewers, the Royals, and the Red Sox. Now, on top of that, it's giving you the reasoning. Right here, it's saying the expert plays. This one's saying the line movement. This one's saying the line movement, the Sharp Edge, all this stuff. If you guys want access to what you're looking at here, it's called the cheat sheet inside the verdict. And it basically gives you 4 hours of research in 15 minutes because it breaks everything down. And this is what I've been working on because I used to do this by hand. And now I literally just click 2 clicks and I wait. And then I have this information right in front of me. Instead of writing this down one step at a time and then trying to filter everything out, it's all done for you. So having said all that, once we know all the teams that we're looking at, which is the Brewers, Royals, and Red Sox. Now, the Red Sox, it is telling you to look at the run line, and those are the 3 games that I'm looking at today. So once we have all that, I go into the matchups, and you can see the Dodgers is a big mismatch against the Tigers. So that is a huge contradiction to what I just told you. The Tigers on one side is saying that the line movement is moving dramatically in the Tigers' favor. But if you look at the mismatch here, the mismatch is big, meaning This is the last 14 days, and the rank for the Dodgers is number 7, and the Tigers is literally the worst team right now. So that's a 23 ranking position mismatch. The same thing with the Mets, number 8 versus the Astros, number 22. The Padres are decent at a number 10. Went against the Rays, which is number 24, which is incredible because the Rays were winning a lot of games. They were actually top 5 for a long time, and now they fell off all the way to number 24. So those are things to pay attention to. White Sox are number 6, and they're going against the Twins, number 25. Phillies are number two, and they're going against Angels, which is number 27. So again, these are just signals. If you don't want to snooze on the free picks, go to the link in the description and click on free picks, or you can go to beastsportspicks.com. All right, let's break this down. I have not looked at this, by the way. I have not looked at this for the day, but I can already tell before I even look. This is what's so good about this is that even before I even start taking a look at the plays. So, for example, right now I'm finally going to come and look at this game. I already know that there's a huge contradiction. The line is moving in the wrong direction, and that is the big one. So, I'm already like skeptical about this. So, there's a massive advantage with Screwball here with the Dodgers, which is the starting pitcher. There's a big ERA gap, meaning earned runs. The line is shifting very slightly in the Dodgers' favor, according to this, but I already showed you the line is actually shifting in the other direction. So this has not been updated. On top of that, this is a very heavy public play. Dodgers and Yankees usually are very public. So you can see 88% of the bets, 92% of the money is coming in on the Dodgers. And I already showed you the line is shifting very badly towards the Tigers. So I'm not going to keep going on this. What I will tell you is that if you want to take the Dodgers, you're going to have to probably parlay them at the money line. I would not take the run line because everything is shifting in the favor of the Tigers. Now, on top of that, the Dodgers right here in the last 13 games on the road have only been hitting at a 30% hit rate. Screwball is a monster. You can see his stats right there. Everything is green compared to this guy, Anderson. So, again, the bullpen is similar for both teams. And look at this. The OPS is very similar on both sides. Even though the Dodgers are decent, they're not getting on base a lot. They're number 27 compared to number 29. So I would definitely not touch this on the spread. If you wanted to take the Dodgers, which I don't know if you should or not, but if you want to, more than likely I'm not going to. If you do, you would want to take the money line and parlay it with something else. That's the way I would take the Dodgers. All right, the other one, I gave away this one yesterday, which was the Brewers. And somebody had said that Turang was out, Bryce Turang. And right before the game started, it actually did say the line was shifting in the wrong direction. But my bet was already in there. And unless something dramatic happens, I don't tend to cash out. So we ended up winning, I think was 8-2 or something like that. And so it was a good day for that. So anyways, I gave that one away for free. Again, if you don't want to miss out on the free picks, you just go to the link in the description, click on free picks, or go to beastsportspicks.com. All right, so Milwaukee today is heavily juiced at a 173, and this system automatically flags it whenever it's a minus 150 or worse, meaning the odds, it automatically flags it as skip, like you should be able to skip this game unless something makes perfect sense. All right. So Brewers side has the edge. Henderson is a run prevention for Milwaukee. So it is saying that Milwaukee does have a very strong pitcher, which I already showed you here. So let's keep going. Henderson is vastly superior to Bradford in every metric. The strikeout differential, everything is better for the starting pitcher. The bullpen is very similar. It is saying to take a skip on this one. And again, it automatically flags it as an auto skip whenever it's a minus 150 or worse, because that is too heavily juiced, unless you're going to take it at a -1 or a -1.5, or you're going to parlay with something else. That's the reason this is automatic skip. So just be careful with that. Does your system say Seahawks beats the Patriots? I put 35,000 on Seattle. What's up, Cody? Yeah, man, I don't know. I have not even looked at the NFL, to be honest. I've been busy with baseball. but I will start working on that this week. The reason I was so busy was working on this verdict stuff here, and now it's live. So I pretty much work on one system at a time, and I was so busy with this thing here, and I was sick that's why I have not even looked at football. But I will be doing football before I go to Miami next week. So pay attention to that. All right, let's keep going. Milwaukee, let's take a look here. Milwaukee, the line shifted slightly, 170 to 173. Let's see, 83% of the money. So the line is shifting in the favor of Milwaukee. The money is 83%, 91%. So this is a heavily public, it's a super heavily public play. And I will be honest, man, I would say after the All-Star break, this is when it matters, because whenever you see this much money and this much percentage of the bets on one side, it's very bad. Usually it goes in the opposite direction. That's when they say that Vegas makes the call. And it because of this, 91% of the money is coming in on Milwaukee. I do like Milwaukee today. I took them yesterday, even though they were even heavier than this. It was like a minus 180 or something crazy. So I do like Milwaukee, but that is one very big important thing you should be aware of. On top of that, the sharp differential is on Texas. Okay. Have you looked at the NRFI today? No, I haven't. I'm gonna quickly just show you two teams that showed up, and I'll tell you that's actually right here on the same page, which is the verdict on the cheat sheet. If you go all the way to the bottom here, it does give you all the ones that you should be looking at. So you should, I have not touched these. I did throw them out to the VIP, a couple of these, but these are the ones that came up. So if you want to take a look at that. All right, I'm not going to go, well, I do want to go deeper into this game because I want to make sure if I'm going to be able to place the bet or not, because I have not done the research besides this part. So 64% win probability. All this means is based on the odds. Based on the odds, it's telling us that there's a 64% chance that Milwaukee's going to win this game. The DraftKings is telling us there is one run price difference for the Brewers to win. And then look at this, on the road they suck, which is Texas. They're hitting at a 20% hit rate on the road. Henderson is a much better pitcher. If you want to go deeper, you can break down all of this crap, which I'm not doing today because everything else is paying attention to this. But you can literally go this deep. Right now, it's literally saying no prior matchups, but it's a full breakdown. Bullpen is better, pitching is better, and okay, this is not good. Texas is number one, OPS meaning on base percentage, but these guys are no bums either, and they're facing one of the best pitchers that Milwaukee has. So I do like the Brewers. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. I'll take Milwaukee. I don't know how I'm going to take that. I'm either probably going to do a -1 so I can get better odds, or I'll probably do money line with the Dodgers. I'm not sure, but I do like Milwaukee. I did some research on the game, but having second doubts. How do you feel about the Marlins? The Marlins did not come up for me at all. If I have time, I'll take a look at them, but I already showed you basically this thing kind of points me in a certain direction. And that's what I go based on, and that's what I've been doing. That's how I've been winning so much, is basically just following a system. I will take a look at the Marlins, but they did not come up at all as a play. So this MLB convergence tool, one of the things that I was looking at, I gave a lot of weight into this system before, is I would look at this and say, okay, this is pointing all in the same direction, and I would just kind of go with it, but not anymore. So for example, right here, the Royals versus the Guardians, there is 2 aligned and 3 opposed. So automatically I should not even be looking at the Royals because there is too many contradictions. So let's take a look here. So it is saying take a look at the Royals here with the expert plays and the line move. But over here, you can see that the win probability is better for Cleveland. The expert insights is better. And then the projected runs is better for Guardians. So those are all contradictions. Whenever you see too many contradictions like that, I tend to stay away. Here's the Red Sox with the line move. I already talked about the line move. However, the New York has better pitching. OPS is better and projected runs is better. So again, too many contradictions to touch. So that I wanted to show you that before I got into those 2 games, because it is saying the Royals should be winning this game. But there's contradictions here with what was this? The contradictions with what is this? The expert insights, projected runs, and win probability. So I will be looking at the Royals as underdogs, as a +1.5. Let me see if I can find this. Give me a second. And I'm going to give you some batter props too, guys. So right here, because of this right here, which the Royals are number one in the last 14 days. So that's the reason I'm even considering this game, even though they're contradicting here with the Guardians. Let me take another look at this. Let's take a look at the Guardians. Guardians are number 3. So again, that's already too many contradictions. Even though these guys are number 1, these guys are number 3. So I'm already very skeptical about even looking further into this game, but I will very quickly. The line did shift in their favor, a very slight percentage of the money, but the differential on the sharps are on the other side, which is the Guardians. So those are all negatives. This is very heavily favored. This is not so much on the over 3.5 runs. So it's already pretty much is going on Cleveland's favor. These guys suck over here on the road. I'm not touching this, even though they're number 1 team and the line is shifting in their favor. And they won yesterday. So basically, that's maybe one of the big reasons was why this line is shifting, is because they won by so much yesterday. But I don't like it. Even at a +1.5, I wouldn't. I'm not taking it. Now the Red Sox, again, I'm looking at this one as underdogs as well at a +1.5. But the situation, I already told you, there's a lot of contradictions here, which is right here. The win probability is better for the Yankees. The starting pitcher is better. The OPS is better. The projected runs is better. And again, the only reason I'm looking at this is because the line is shifting in the favor of Boston as underdogs. So look, Schlittler here, advantage, ERA gap. Boston's bullpen is better, or a little bit better, not much. Let's keep going. The line is shifting in their favor. The sharp differential is on Boston's side. Look at this. These guys are supposed to score more runs. New York is supposed to score more runs than Boston. Boston on the road is much better. Sandoval 4.11. This guy's much better. Schlittler, which is the Yankees. And okay, this is what's going to keep me away. Boston versus Schlittler here. You can see 3 little cold cubicles. What that means is that 3 of their top batters are cold against Schlittler. They're actually number 20 OPS, or I'm sorry, against right-handed pitchers, they're number 20. Yankees are number 9 versus left-handed pitchers. So I'm not touching this. This is what's gonna make it for me, saying that Boston sucks against right-handed pitchers, and they suck against Schlittler, and they suck on the road. Those are all too many contradictions for me. I'm not touching it. So again, guys, make sure you get the free picks. And if you want access to this cheat sheet that I've been showing you, it's there's 6 more slots available. I actually had 25. I think like 3 or 4 more people took advantage in the last couple of days. So there's about 18 people in there now. After 25, it's going to go up to $75. Right now it's $50, and that's going to be locked in for as long as you're paying. After that, it's going to go to $75, and I'm not bringing the price down after that. But you're going to get this here, and you're going to get the verdict. And the verdict basically just brings down everything into one spot. So it'll tell you the sharp plays, the one-hitters, the convergence, the spreads, the line movement, the expert consensus, and then it'll have my plays in here as well. And that's included inside the VIP for the Sharp Edge. All right, let me give you guys 2 batters, and then that's about it, guys. I'll take a look at the Marlins if I still got time. All right, so I'm going to skip over these. This one I already did the research before I jumped on the video. So I'll skip over these guys. I'll tell you why I skipped these guys. This guy has no batter versus pitcher information. So I automatically skipped it. This guy has on the road, he's bad. I automatically skipped it. This is one of the ones I am going with, Bobby Witt Jr. You can see his stats right here. Three hits, 1 hit, 2 hits, 2 hits, 1 hit, 1 hit, 2 hits. He's coming up to bat between 3 and 5 times. Royals, like I already showed you, they're the number 1 team right now. They are getting a lot of hits. They are getting a lot of runs. He's faced this guy, BB, 29 times. He's hit 9 times, 3.75 ERA. Or I'm sorry, batting average, not ERA. But this guy is pretty expensive. The cheapest you can find him is on DraftKings for $251. But I am taking him to get 1 hit, Bobby Witt Jr. Let me see what was the other guy. Give me a second. Okay. This is the next one. The only risk with this one is that they're going to either walk him or he kind of sucks on the road here with a .21. But he has faced this guy Casey Mize, and he's gotten 2 hits off of 4 at bats. So you could just see his stats. He's hitting at 100% hit rate, multiple games with multiple hits. On the road, he's a little bit worse. But they tend to this late in the season they tend to walk players like this. So just be careful. Junior Caminero, I'm taking him from the Rays to get 1 hit. Bobby Witt Jr. from the Royals to get 1 hit. This one I skipped. No BVP, meaning no batter versus pitcher data. Gabriel Moreno, I basically took him these 2 days here, and they both lost. So this guy didn't hit for us these 2 days, and those were basically the only 2 days he didn't get a hit. So I'm skipping him. Brooks, you can see the red over here, meaning on the road he sucks, and that's about it. So those are it, guys. I'm going to take a look at the Marlins just because somebody asked me to, and then that'll probably be it, guys. All right, let's see if they show up at all on their, what is this? The Marlins. Oh, like I said, they have not shown up at all. So give me a second here. So Marlins. All right. So the Marlins is saying it went from, actually the line is 149, which is pretty heavy, almost a 60% implied probability. Miami's on the side with the clear starting advantage. It's saying it's playable all the way up to 160. So right now it's still decent. Massive Miami advantage, ERA gap of 4.86 down. Okay. Well, the line is shifting in their favor. They do have the differential, meaning that even though they're heavily juiced over here, and the bets, 77% of the bets, 84% of the money, all of that stuff, it's coming in on Miami, and yet the line is still shifting in their favor. This is the same situation I was talking about with Milwaukee, where the public is all over this play, and those tend to lose. Just be careful with that. They don't tend to lose, but whenever it's this heavily juiced and this much money, that's when they say that Vegas makes the call. But again, just be careful with this. Let's see. Miami is priced 1 run higher. There is no favorite here to see which way it's going. The model is saying 60%. The win probability is saying right around 60%. On the road, they suck, so that's a big if. However, the starting pitcher is massive. This is a massive difference with a 3.69 compared to a 4.6. 3.1 ERA is 3.17 compared to an 8. Now, sometimes this little ERA number can be deceitful because this FIP is actually more important, and you can see the FIP is actually closer. What this means is that the defense sucks over here, not the pitcher. So defense does suck, which still affects the team, obviously, but the pitcher is actually somewhat decent. But you can see he's got very little stats here. 14 strikeouts, 11 base on balls. So what else? Bullpen is better for Miami. The only thing I would say here, OPS is worse, very bad actually for Miami. So it's expensive for this being like that, especially with the pitcher is very strong. So if you want to, the only way I would really take this is maybe on the first 5 innings. And that's going to be basically putting a lot of weight on the starting pitcher, which is Perez. But as far as the team winning, you can see on the road, they kind of suck. This guy's not as bad as it shows here. Washington is a horrible team. So maybe the money line overall is better. But I would not touch this on the spread or -1 or anything like that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here, man. Really do appreciate you guys. And a lot of the free picks have been hitting. So make sure to take advantage. Literally just click on the first link on the description. If you want access to the Sharp Edge, those links are in the description. If you want just the VIP stuff, all the plays that I threw out there for the no run first innings, stuff like that. I will be honest, late we had like a 10-day winning streak. Then we lost. Then we had like a 2-day winning streak, and then we lost. And it's been like a 3-day losing streak so far in the VIP. And we don't lose a lot of units because some of the wins offset the losses, but just be careful with that stuff. All right, guys. Thank you so much, man. Let's have a great day.